So my grandmother is Geraldine Bernadette Shockney. And Bernadette just had this edge to it. And to me, a yellow Camaro that was as badass as I thought it was supposed to be, Bernadette had a nice roll to it. The impetus for starting this build was definitely my approaching 16th birthday. If you ever get my dad on the conceptual car buying spree, he's a lot worse these days than he was back in the day, but I was his first kid to get to driving age, so I think he wanted to do something special, and it ended up being a total disaster of a first car to drive, but it became a full-fledged restoration project and a wonderful experience that I'll never forget. It was the granny tune spec of the 350, so it was only the 270 horsepower with a 3-speed auto, and I definitely didn't want an automatic, so that was a modification. We did put a Muncie M21 in there. We set the gear ratio, which I did at J&L, so that I could do 75 miles an hour at 2200 RPM. So they're 342 final rear axle ratio. Put torque thrust, which I absolutely love, widened them, did 4-wheel disc brakes on all corners, and then we did some Corbeau racing seats that look pretty much like the factory seats, but if you've ever sat in a second-gen Camaro factory seat, it's pretty much a velour, nasty couch cushion that you slide all around in. The car spent most of its time here in the garage over the first couple years of the restoration, and the next thing that really had to be gone through was the driveline. And I had no idea what I was doing, and Dad said, well, let's make a big day of it, invite some of your buddies over, and we'll start, and we'll just pull the motor out, and that'll be a great learning experience for all of you. So we all ended the day with the motor getting pulled out on the I-beam. We were doing it as teenagers who had never done it, but we pulled the heart out of it, and that was pretty satisfying. So as far as I can remember, I've always had a love for cars. I think that this definitely took it to another level because I was putting together all of the functions of every aspect of the car as I deconstructed this car. So I think that's the valuable lesson of this project, not only just the time spent with my dad, but really understanding carburetors, temperature. I learned everything from this project, let alone body, paint, all the interior components, wiring. I mean, it all came together and I was able to be a part of every aspect of this build. This project brought my dad and I closer. I mean, every photo that I have of this project was taken by my dad or was with my dad. We were working on something together, and we spent hours and hours and hours in the garage, and my friends would come over and we'd all learn together from my dad. So I definitely think it was his moment to shine with regards to, hey, this is what I know, these things can be fun, don't you enjoy this? And I did have the ability to buy back my grandfather's FJ62 Land Cruiser, and he had passed away right before my son Oliver was born, and he's who we actually named my son after. So I want to restore that car with my son in the future, for sure.